Hello and welcome back. Here we are in the middle of the village, standing on top of one of our cleric towers, and if you recall in the last episode, we built that gorgeous, beautiful church back over there, but it needs a little life added to it. So in this episode, we're going to be bringing our clerics from this village, and we're going to be giving them a job in that church over there. So come along with me, we'll set up this trader hall, and probably get into a few more antics. In spite of all the wonderful generation improvements to the caves and cliffs, we still have problems with completely unusable buildings hanging over impossible terrain. Poor villagers. One of these days, maybe. Now this is a super simple, basic villager breeder system. We got 2 beds and 2 workstations that are going to be the lure to get our 2 villagers into this area. Once they're inside, we'll block them in like that, and then they can't get out. Now this hole over here is important because it allows us to separate our 2 villagers that are in here and going to be making babies from the babies they make. The babies are going to want to run over there and jump on the bed, and when they do, we'll separate them just like that. And then once they grow up, we can let them out and lure them somewhere else to be more clerics. We only need to do this, 6 times. So we don't need anything really complicated. But villagers, they are a pain to work with. Their pathfinding AI usually takes them in exactly the wrong place that you don't want them to go. And so getting them over here, even this short distance, is probably going to be more frustration than I care to admit. But there are some techniques. First of all, you can use a boat. A boat's great, nice and cheap, slow, but going up hills is really hard. The better route is to use minecarts. And the old furnace minecart, which nobody ever realizes or uses anymore, is really good in a low budget situation like this. But my iron supplies are really, really low. In fact, I probably have more diamonds to my name than I have iron right now. So making rails and minecarts, not really an option. Another possible route that we can take is to just corral them by making a little tunnel like this, 1 block off the ground so that they can't get over it. We can effectively force the villager to move in the directions that we want by making this corral. It's not very far, but it's still kind of a pain in the butt to do. Now, what I'm going to try to do is just lure them using their own pathfinding AI. 1, workstation, and 2, a bed. Villagers want to work at certain times of the day, and they'll travel to the workstation in order to claim the job. So by putting down the workstation, and then when the villager gets close, breaking it and putting it down again, we can effectively keep luring the villager where we want him to go. Now that only works for a certain amount of time, and if it gets to be too late, well, then we can use beds. But late enough that they want a bed means that there's also monsters around, so we really don't want to be waiting that long. We want to get this done pretty quick, and I think it's time to get going. Well, that was sort of a success. We got 2 over here, but that guy's currently fascinated with the cauldron over there, which I did not anticipate or remember that they would pick up as a workstation. It did make him want to run the rest of the way into the church here, but now he's the wrong profession and kind of stuck over there. I'm going to have to wait till nighttime when they want to go to their bed and then get him trapped over there, and he'll change professions. So, job done. This wasn't nearly as hard as I had expected, except for this little hiccup. Things never go right when you work with villagers. That's just the truth of it. There we go. 2 peas, snug as a bug in their beds, ready for a life of captivity and endless work. Being a villager is not easy, is it? And, yay! Hearts! Oh, just quite a spew of carrots. My word. And we got a little baby running around. All right. Finally. You guys. You took your own sweet time, didn't you? Just had to wait till my back was turned, didn't you? Mm-hmm. All right. I see how it is. Well, breeding was very successful. We got our original 2 over here and 1 little guy. This is going to be all clear because we got space for 4 on this side. And on this side, we have space for 4 librarians. And we have 2 little guys and 1 grown guy already. While they're babies, we need to put the walls around here because they can climb over a block, even though the block is as tall as they are. But once they're all grown up, we can remove the wall, at least in front, and as long as these slabs are here, now these are bottom slabs, and that makes this gap 1.5 blocks tall, but the villagers are 2. But we, by crouching, can go underneath this, and that now allows me to get in here and swap out the lectern and change their jobs, plus all the XP is free to flow right across. We want to keep them separated because if they start congregating too much, we're going to get this place full of iron golems, and I really don't want that. I do want an iron farm, but just not in here. So now we begin the laborious process of swapping out the jobs and trying to get him to give me a new book. This is always a tedious process. It's going slow. The villagers are always getting in your way. You usually got to push them out of the way, and you really risk trying to hit them sometimes, and that just makes things bad. But in the end, I got something really good. All right. Finally, and 16. That's not bad. Let's just take a few of those and lock you in. And so I repeated the process with another librarian dude and got looting for my sword. With the combination of making, enchanting, and then combining new gear along with the mending and looting, I have got a great sword that's going to be useful for getting a lot more zombie rotten flesh for trading with these guys. I bet that's something that you never hear before. I want looting so I can get more rotten flesh. Anyway, but it gets us emeralds, and that's what we're after. Additionally, I was able to do some combining and enchanting on the other tools to get them up to a really good state. The armor is still a bit lacking, and probably will continue to be so. But for now, I'm really happy with where we're at. Originally, I said I also wanted an enchanting setup in here, and well, we really don't have any room in either of the upstairs rooms. So I think the answer is to go below. And we've got this area down here underneath the chamber. We can't go really far below because that's where the zombie spawner is. But remember, we have 3 blocks of dirt here. So I think either we build it right here, or we go down 1 block. Should be plenty, and we can decorate this out into an enchanting room. We don't need very much room for enchanting setup. I need to put the storage system for the drops from the zombie farm down here too. So this will all have to be cleaned up a little bit, and I think that's the plan anyway. And here we are, enchanting area all set up. Got the hoppers and chests all set up for the zombie XP farm once we get it operational. And got the area down here cleaned up pretty nicely. This goes to the original cave that I had found the zombie spawner in and is there so that we can continue to do maintenance if necessary. And yeah, this little basement room will work just fine for the enchanting area. I'm liking it. Well, we've gotten a lot done, but honestly, after doing this big old build and then dealing with the villagers, I'm feeling a little cooped up and stir crazy. We need to get out and have some adventure. Right behind the church here is a river that goes north and west, and I've been north a little bit, and it just seems to be more plains, but I haven't been west. I think east is spawn area. So I think that the best course of action is to head west and see what we can find that direction. 1.18 rivers are bigger and generally more navigable than they used to be, so traveling by boat is really fast and efficient way to get out and do some exploring. It'll be a nice break and change, for sure. All right, we got our first actual ocean area. We got some ice straight ahead, which will be very cool. And we got the big birch forest behind us as the sun is setting. Ah, it's nice to be adventuring again out in the open world, looking for amazing things to see and new resources to collect. A lush cave, right here on the edge. I'm just out exploring. There's the drip leaf. There's some berries. I've got some drip leaf, but I want the berries. And I've got the moss, but we got to go in anyway. This generation is really weird. I mean, this is a brand new seed. This is not a converted world, but look at these walls that are just straight up and all the way across. It's almost like there was a chunk error right here. Oh well, doesn't change the fact that I went up there. While out exploring, I found a shipwreck. It's my first one, and the buried treasure map. I love chasing buried treasure. My inventory is really full though, so I'm going to be hard pressed to be able to get anything home. Fortunately, the treasure seems to be in the direction of home, so hopefully we'll be able to get some good stuff and get home without too much of a problem. This buried treasure is like the most away from the ocean that I think I've ever seen a buried treasure. But that's all right. Line up with the 9-9. There we go. Thanks, Mini HUD. And now that we're back home, we'll place that and have a bit of remembrance. It was fun. I love searching for buried treasure. Well, let's go this direction this morning. This forest just goes on and on and on for what seems like an eternity. We're going to have to go a long way to get something new, I think. All right, we've got a little savanna going on here. It's not much better than the plains, but I'll try to get some acacia saplings and acacia wood and add that to the collection of resources. Wow, look over there. We got some jungle. I got to get me some bamboo. That would have been really, really nice for building the church. Oh. Huh. That's not dangerous at all. Well, this savanna has a little bit more to offer than I first anticipated. It's fun to just go out and explore and see some cool things. I like that huge hill with all the savanna trees up there. That'd be a pretty cool place to build something too. All right, well, now that we've got some stuff collected from jungle and acacia, I think it's time to have a little fun. Maybe we can find some good treasure in that tower, but maybe we'll die. I set my spawn here, and we'll have to give it a try. I have not died this game yet, and I don't intend to. If there's a golem over here, let's set him free. Come on. Ooh, nice. Is there a golem? No golem. I don't see very many of the dudes around. Of course, this is normal difficulty. Ah! I purposefully did not make this a hard difficulty because, again, we're here to focus on building, not really survival. Ouch. All right. What do we got in here? Nothing inside. Well, dark oak I don't have. String I need more of. But, yeah, not a lot in the way of treasure. All right. I think it's time to go. That was fun. But didn't really have anything worthwhile. Home sweet home. Well, that was fun and fruitful. Let's plant a few of these new trees that we've got and see what we can, well, add to the resource pile, you know? I got one more project in mind that we can work on yet this episode. We've gotten a lot done, but there's always room for a little bit more, huh? And it's done. What we have is this smelting area inside the side of the hill. Some kind of, cave-like thing where we keep all the nasty lava separate from everything else. This here is a lava farm, and there's lava source blocks up above these two pieces of dripstone. So we have an unlimited source of lava that gets refilled every now and again. These over here are some blast furnaces that has a lot of junk armor from the zombie farm, as well as other ores and stuff that needs to be smelted up. So all we need to do is grab a bucket of lava, throw it in the blast furnace here, and that thing will go. Lava is one of the best sources of fuel for furnaces. A single bucket of lava will smelt 100 items. So you need to make sure the chest is pretty full in order to keep it supplied with items before the lava runs out. But with it being renewable here, we don't have to be quite so precious about it. It used to be pretty hard to get, having to go to the nether or the bottom of the world. This should be really convenient and a good way to smelt up a lot of things. This area used to be a natural cave, I guess, crack. It goes down really far to basically a hole that goes straight down. I never even bothered to explore it, and I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm pretty happy with this little area. And as we watch the sunset, I think that's enough for this episode. Kind of a mishmash, mixed bag of a whole bunch of little tasks, but I've got some ideas for the next one, so stick with me, and please like and subscribe because, of course, it helps. That's why everybody asks. Anyway, take care, be excellent to each other. I'm out.